Hey there, literary citizens! So today I'm going to talk about point of view because it's something I've been thinking a lot about over the past week of NaNoWriMo. I'm still behind, by the way, but catching up slowly and feeling pretty good about it. So I assume most of you already know the differences between first, second, and third person points of view, so instead of explaining them to you again, I'm going to tell you how I feel about them, because it's always good to talk about your feelings. So for a long time, I wrote almost exclusively in third person. I wrote some first-person stories when I was younger, but by the time I graduated from high school, I was very uncomfortable writing in first person, especially if I was writing about myself. It was just too personal, too private, too vulnerable, too narcissistic, and I felt like I couldn't collect my own thoughts into anything coherent anymore. So over time, I stopped journaling, I stopped emailing my friends, and anytime I needed to process something that had happened in my life by writing a bad poem, I wrote about it in terms of he or she or they, as if writing in third person would somehow remove me from my own experiences. And that led to me avoiding first person in my fiction writing as well, because I almost felt like I couldn't remember how to write using the word I anymore. But then, in my senior year of college, I wrote this short story just about a guy describing his roommate's girlfriend, and when the idea came into my head, it just felt right to do it in first person. So even though I was totally out of practice, I was still somehow able to get into this guy's head and write the story from his perspective, and it was not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. The thing was, though, that his voice was very different from mine, so while I found it easier to write fictional characters from first person after that, I still had trouble writing about my own ideas and opinions and feelings, and it's something that I still struggle with to this day. I'm currently writing my nano novel in first person since my main character is way more like me than she probably should be, and I thought this might help. I started a blog last year to try and push myself to be more comfortable with my own voice, and even these videos are kind of just another way to force myself to start interpreting my thoughts as mine rather than some arbitrary hers. Sometimes it seems like it's helping, sometimes it doesn't. It's a work in progress. So those are my thoughts on first and third person. As for second person, well, many people will probably tell you that second person is the root of all evil and you should never ever use it unless you're writing a choose-your-own-adventure book. Personally, I'm not as offended by second person as most of the general population seems to be, and honestly, I think it could be a really great technique to use if you can pull it off. So screw the haters, write in second person if you want to, and maybe you'll end up with the next Bright Lights Big City. Or maybe not. So which point of view do you prefer to write in, and which point of view do you prefer to read? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Late Night Lit will return on Saturday with Candace and Sarah talking about The Gastronomical Me by MFK Fisher, and I will be back on Wednesday. Keep writing! Screaming children outside. Not funny. Children, STFU. Kids screaming. Oh my god. I will cut you. I will cut all of you. Or maybe not.